Hey everyone, welcome to Nerfcast.
This is Josh.
Oh, the call out. Someone wants to go ahead of Shawn now. Well, too bad. This is Shawn and B.F.U and Josh.
Nope, Josh. Just like Bubba Lolo's videos, I already said it first.
B.F.U, say something.
Are we cutting or are we crying?
We're doing this. Let's go.
Oh, thanks for having me back, guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, for like the 5th week in a row.
I think it's the 3rd, but yeah, we're going with that.
Well, it's been like 5 weeks.
It has been 5 podcasts.
Yes.
5 glorious podcasts. Shout out to Arjang for listening.
Yes.
Before we start the official podcast today and get into some segments and some things, I'd like to send an apology to my friends in Australia at Southern Brisbane Nerf. On the last podcast, I incorrectly quoted a source of some information, and Southern Brisbane Nerf was the first to break it via after Baidu had it, and I did not give them their just due, and I want to sincerely want to apologize for that. I really personally appreciate all the work that goes into breaking news for us in the Nerf community, and I didn't want them to feel left out, and go buy them hammer shots.
Yes,
mate.
Yeah, shout out to Southern Brisbane Nerf, by the way, because they are awesome.
And they also broke some new news for us recently, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I believe just today. Wasn't it this morning?
Might have been.
Yesterday.
Okay, so, yeah.
Depends on where you live, Sean.
That's true. Time zones make a difference.
There we go.
But for those of you in the United States excited about the Nerf Magnus coming out, it is actually on the Target website now, and the price, surprisingly enough, is listed at $14.99.
That's so awesome.
That is so... Okay, actually, let's start with you, Josh. Mister, if it were $5 cheaper, I would buy it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still might pick one up and look at it. I just still feel like there's not a huge use for a 3-shot blaster that's as big as my Retaliator.
If it were $5 cheaper, if it were $9.99.
Yeah, I have to see how it performs. My other review was based on its performance, and then I said if it was $5 cheaper, I might buy it. I'll have to review it first. Mm-hmm. But, maybe it could be that's a decent price for it, but you can still get a hammer shot.
Ooh.
See? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does anyone here have anything to say about hammer shots and buying them?
Buy a hammer shot!
There it is.
Oh, sorry. We're going to apologize up front. It's going to be a silly day for all 3 of us.
Yes.
It's been the long weekend.
Yep.
I don't know. I think $15 for considering it's, supposedly based on all the reviews that are on the interweb so far, it's a pretty nice hand cannon. Mm-hmm. Ranges seem to be pretty good. Highly moddable. I mean, people have already got mods out for it. We'll probably have a couple posted on the website within a few weeks of receiving one. I didn't say receiving like we're going to get one for free. Of buying one at Target.
Yeah.
If Nerf wants to send us one for free, we're not going to say no. Okay.
Yeah.
We would be very stoked if Nerf sent us free stuff, but we're cool with just trolling all the Targets in the area in the meantime.
See,
usually buying the entire supply of whatever just comes out.
I'll pretty much take anything for free. If anyone wants to send me free paper,
that's pretty true.
It's just a free hello, how you doing? It's got to be really Nerf related. Rubber bands. I take rubber bands. Some canvas. Could use some canvas, some screen. We really need some screen. Bear Nerf is in desperate need of some free screen.
If you have free graphene you would like to send us to, I will accept that.
I take graph paper.
Wow.
Those are 2 very different things.
An old speak and spell.
Ooh. Although Kyle says more.
All right, I got us off topic, so that's my bad.
Yep.
So we know Josh's $5 cheaper thing. We'll see performance first. But if it does shoot flat 65 feet, Josh, if it was $5 cheaper, would you buy it?
I would recommend that people probably buy it. Me personally, I feel like I've already got my loadout, kind of. Unless you can really rival what I've got rocking for me personally, it's not going to happen. But would I recommend that people go out and check it out and buy it? Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things to consider in everybody's personal loadout because you got to consider different ammo, how you're going to carry it. So for a new player, yeah, even at $15, I think that's way cheaper than we all thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. Looking at the price of Centurion, we thought it was going to be like $30.
The new price of Centurion is damn near close to $30.
That is true.
That is very true.
It's $39.99 at Target.
Yup.
Or Costco with a second clip.
Yes.
Ooh, yep. That is true.
Yeah, I mean, and then you broke some news a little bit, Josh, right? Didn't you review something this week?
Oh, we reviewed. I don't think it was breaking news. I think there's already been a couple of reviews out for the Bandana.
Do I not get to talk about the Magnus?
Nope.
Oh,
is this how this works?
Sorry, I thought.
No, it's okay. I'll go ahead and I'll sit over in the corner.
So sorry,
and
Sean.
cry.
I apologize,
about
Sean,
my opinions on things.
Sean, how do you feel about them? I'm so sorry.
I don't really care. No, for real.
It's because you started it out, but then you deferred to me.
Usually, I started out, get my opinion.
It's
in,
very
and then
polite when you meet someone. You give your name first before asking for someone else's
No,
name.
usually the format is I start with the news and then it goes to you, and then
Once it gets back to you,
you can't mess up the format.
I'm sorry, I care.
I have a really hard job. And I've been in Idaho.
I like it. $15. I agree. It's cheaper than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting $25, maybe $20 going into it. $15 is a welcome surprise. For me, it puts it on the same level as a hammer shot, which is also $15. Mm-hmm. Both these, I classify them as great secondary weapons. I would never use... Well, I guess you could use hammer shots as primaries. I messed around with a couple games using the hammer shots and dual wielding. It is fun. It is really fun.
Exactly.
Obviously, dual wielding Magnuses isn't as easy to do just because of how the priming works. But as a secondary, what I like about it is this is something that could be very much a Bay Area Nerf game, burn game, special clause. But secondaries are used for intimidation. When your primary is not working, it's out of ammo, it jams, you drop it, pull out your secondary, and hope whoever's charging at you trying to take advantage of your weakness will stop in their tracks or at least slow down long enough for you to get to safety. Mm-hmm. So to me, when I see a hammer shot, I'm like, oh, dude, this person has 5 shots on tap and he can just crank them out real quickly. And he can maneuver with it too because it's all one-handed. That's nice.
Right.
Magnus, I feel like it's a big gun. Mm-hmm. It's very flashy, obviously, with the red colors. So you know what blaster is being brought out. And bigger ammo. If you're like 10 feet away from a Magnus, I'm doubting you're going to want to keep going forward because that's going to hurt if you get hit by it. Not hurt a lot, but enough to where you'd be like, maybe not.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't, like I said, I don't think it's a bad blaster. Just I don't see a reason to run it over what's out. Mm-hmm. For me, maybe if you're into it, but 3 shots, different ammo, really big and bulky. I feel like I'd rather run, obviously, a hammer shot, Sweet Revenge, Strife, even a Retaliator before I ran a Magnus. Mm-hmm. But if you ain't got any of those things, you just want to check it out, I mean, I'm not going to say don't do it, because it's a good value for what it is. Mm-hmm. If you're looking at the wars, the way we run them, it's not. Yeah,
I can't see me replacing with the hammer shot just yet.
Right.
But it is something that I do plan on buying, testing out, and I will run it a couple wars, because I don't think I won't feel like it's a mistake. It might not be optimal, but I feel like it's still adequate.
I got to check the ergonomics, things like I got tiny little hands, there's a lot of stuff going on.
They are mad little.
They are.
Very tiny hands.
Josh actually started in the Burger King commercials about the small hamburgers. I want to go to Burger King, but I got these tiny hands. That's why I play with Nerf. The grips are small for children. So that's my opinions on it. So Josh.
Yes.
Now we can move on to someone who did a review on...
the bandana.
The bandana. Now, if it were $5 cheaper... that's just gonna be my. I'd
still be like, I would rather. If you're gonna spend $10, I would rather get 2 Z-bombs than this, because you get 1 Z-bomb, which is, in my opinion, the worst looking Z-bomb out of all of them. It's the green one, and they didn't even do a good job repainting it. Yeah.
I don't like the half football with dynamite.
So here's the butt. I don't like the half. That's my next least favorite one is the half football. But at least that one I feel like it makes some semblance of sense because there's dynamite in it. Like, oh, there's dynamite. This one, I know it's supposed to be some sort of rocket or missile.
No, it's just a blue grenade.
No, it's not a grenade. Grenades don't look like that. Yeah. Have you looked at the drawing
for it? It's got the little fins on the back, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at the drawing for it, it has a shell. It's supposed to have fins like a missile, and the top is actually supposed to be smaller than a drill. If you look at the little sketch on the back, that's what it's supposed to be.
I know.
So what is it?
But the half football. Here's why I hate the half football with dynamite in it.
I wish they just did dynamite.
No, the half football with the dynamite. There is no way you could cut a football in half, keep its shape, and put dynamite in it because it's going to deflate.
If you use a Nerf football, you can.
Yes.
See, they're pimping their own product.
They know.
It's not their own product. It's perpetual play.
No. But I'm saying they're pimping Nerf products.
Yeah.
You know what?
They're keeping it in the family.
Listen, Pimp 1 and Pimp 2. Okay, Gladys Knight and the Pimps. I know it's Pips, but whatever.
The haters ball.
I know.
Okay, so anyway, we're having an argument about which one's the worst one.
Which one do we hate the most?
So the reason I hate it is because it doesn't make any sense. Like, what is this supposed to be?
I thought it was a new aged finned grenade or a mortar shell.
Yeah, see, but it doesn't. It does. So if it was a mortar shell, then it needs some way to deploy the mortar. It just doesn't work out. The other one looks stupid and post-apocalyptic. But have you ever played? What's that game?
The Last of Us.
No.
I'm sorry. I thought we were going to move on to the brick. Something we actually all enjoy.
No, Dead Rising, where you can just make stupid weapons.
Yes.
Yeah, like you can put a friggin' saw at the end of a baseball bat, and you attach like a car battery to it.
You're thinking of Dead Island, by the way.
Oh, Dead Island. There we go.
But Dead Rising also works for this.
I mean, you just make stupid weapons, and it's like, well, this doesn't practically work, but it's just stupid fun for the video game. I feel like that is the dynamite inside of the football. Like, it's stupid and it doesn't make any sense, but whatever, because at least there's dynamite, so you can understand how it would blow up a zombie.
In this Dead Island game, can you attach dynamite to a crackhead and make them run? No?
No.
Okay.
There are no crackheads in the game.
Yeah, people are mostly dead.
Yeah.
On an island.
On an island.
All right.
Although there are a lot of drugs.
Okay.
Are a lot of drugs. But, I'm just saying, it makes sense in a really stupid way. The other one, I just don't even know what it is. I have no idea what it's supposed to be.
Okay, so you don't like the blue mortar
Hate
Z-bomb.
the blue. Yeah, and the blue that they used is not even elite blue.
Like a dark navy.
It's like a weird dark, and then they didn't repaint the yellow little weird stripes that are supposed to make it look like a drill. They're just still yellow. The whole thing is terrible.
Giving them an F for effort.
Yeah, they couldn't even, if they threw in a brick, at least it'd be kind of cool. Give me the other half of the brick. Let me make a full brick.
What else is in the kit?
So then it comes with these tiny little wristbands. And I say tiny little wristbands because they barely fit around my tiny little wrists.
Just for the audience, Josh has got some little Popeye wrists though. They're small at the actual wrist
But
part.
once you get to the forearm,
and
they get
because he's got
malicious.
short arms, the forearm comes really fast. It just gets there, gets from wrist to forearm really quick. And most normal humans, there's some length in there. He looked like John. He looked like a little teeny tiny John Cena with him on.
But there's only one. If I put both of them on, they take up my whole forearm.
You can't see him.
Yeah, they serve no purpose. They are elastic, so they will stretch to fit a little bit.
But it shouldn't be tight.
It's tight on me when I'm not stretching them. Our buddy Arjan was just like, this ain't gonna happen.
Well, Arjan ain't no slim pickings.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that forearms aren't,
Yeah, no, it's cool.
8-year-old's
forearms, I'm sure it would work fine.
Yeah, it probably will. And I was going to say, for the target market, it's fine. But since it's social practical...
Hold up. Let's pause for a second.
Yeah.
Target market. Obviously, HVZ stuff, I feel like, is targeted to HVZ players. So wouldn't they keep in mind this is for potentially teenager to young adults?
I would agree with you, but I feel like this is not geared towards them. I think it is geared towards the kids whose older brothers go out and play HVZ, and they want to do it at home.
Low bro, big bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll give you that.
Because there's just no way. This doesn't... You have to be really... fairly thin for it to fit comfortably, and even then is just not.
So if you were a Nerf vampire, it would fit you.
Yes, if I was emaciated.
Yes.
That I think that if they had little ridges to put darts in, like they do on the Nerf bandolier. That was weird.
Yeah. So just so you know, when he said bandolier, he put air quotes in there. So. Which is awesome because when there's no video and air quotes are happening. Next year we will be videoing these little podcasts, so when Josh does air quotes, you can see them.
You know why I was like, I've seen more people use it as a sling than a bandolier because everything falls out of it.
Word.
So you could say it's Nerf sling, Nerf bandolier, but that's like when I say clip system. They're clips, but they're magazines.
It's what Nerf calls it, not what it actually is.
I mean, it theoretically is bandolier. It's just really not good bandolier.
Shoddy.
Things just fall out of it.
Word to your mother.
But they have the little, or even on the tactical vest, the little elastic so that you could put Nerf darts in it. That would actually be kind of cool for the little forearm bracelet thingies. I don't even know.
I feel like that's something that would have been better served on the Rebel line.
I agree. They could have made him silver. They could have done a cross promotion with Wonder Woman movie that isn't coming out.
Oh.
See, I was just talking about the girls because they got the bows and they could put little darts in their wrists.
I know. I understand. But I just had to take a crack shot at the Wonder Woman movie.
There's not even no reason for that. There's not even a small reason for that.
Actually, they could come up with like a
Because
little
Nerf
Black
has-
Widow stinger thing on the wrist.
Say.
That would okay, Hasbro. That one's for free, actually.
Like you already got a Hawkeye, you got Hulk hands.
Didn't the spy thing make that?
Yes, they did. But
it's
the thing is,
under-
it's not Nerf.
It's not Nerf. It's under the hand. It looks like Altair's Hidden Blade. It just pops out and shoots darts from underneath.
Nerf Hidden Blade. Do it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Have it spit out a hatchet.
So Kit, 2 of these wristbands, one Z-bomb, and this bandana that I think is what everybody actually wanted was a Nerf bandana. I was hoping this thing was gonna be like $5. The whole kit together is $15. So I'm already paying more than I would for 2 Z-bombs. I've got 2 things I'm not gonna use. The wristlets. I'm gonna keep changing the name of those things every time I talk about them.
Would you call them vamp braces?
The bracers, armlets.
So I'm like, well, all right. At least the bandana's got to be kind of good, right? It's okay at best. But for $5, if people wanted it, I would say like, yeah, it's worth $5. You know, even $5.99. Like, yeah,
You say it was itchy?
it is kind of itchy. It's like it's not cloth.
So it's not like a.
It's
not
100% polyester.
Did you wash it?
No, because it's 100% polyester, and I didn't want to shrink.
Yeah.
It's already kind of
Everything's small enough as it is.
Yeah.
We don't need more shrinkage.
I felt like it wasn't well. It's only one-sided. It's 20 inches by 20 inches, if I remember correctly. It folds diagonally, and one side has a quote-unquote human face, which is a gas mask, and the other side has a quote-unquote zombie face, which is a skeleton, and they're both in green. One is a lighter green, and one is a darker green.
Yeah, because that's easy to see from a distance.
And that's my
At
whole
night.
thing, and the whole thing is black, and it's just, it doesn't promote HVZ the way you would want it to, where there was a clear distinction between the two factions, because this is made to be worn over your nose, and then it hangs down like an old style, I'm a trained bank robber in the old West, like bandana.
I'm
mask.
a trained bank robber.
Bank robbers get training? What?
You are a bank robber, but they're moving gold on a train. Then you are a train robber, but you're still robbing the bank.
No, it's better in my head that the bank is actually mobile and just travels. I want to make a deposit. Let me get on my horse.
I didn't know bank robber was training to be a bank robber. Like, oh my God, what did you study in school? Bank robbery? I got my BA in stealing.
Yes.
But
With a minor in petty larceny.
you're supposed to wear it like that.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. HVZ, typically all the ones I've been to, when you turn into a Zed, when you turn into a zombie,
Right.
roll it up, wrap it around your head.
Correct. That's why I think it would have been really cool, even if they wanted to go with this route, if on the other side they had like a human and zombie printed, and it was clearly made to be rolled up, and like they have official HVZ bandanas that go around people's arms, and you flip it, and it's a zombie one. It goes around your head.
Right. They're always in the back of like Bobo's videos.
Yeah, make them similar to that. They don't have to be exactly the same, but I mean, give it a use for people who are older as well as younger. It just sort of spreads your market out, especially when you have a Zombiestrike anything, because that's clearly part of your target market.
I just gotta wonder how much cheaper it was to make the material out of polyester instead of cloth. Because bandanas already, like, you can go pick up a bandana almost anywhere for like $250.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not super expensive. Why did they need to? Because then easily you have thick cloth. You can have it double-sided. You can have different print on each side. You don't run into these weird itchy problems. It absorbs sweat. It's overall just seems like it makes more sense. How much money were they saving by going with this material?
Right.
Fail perpetual play.
Yeah, that's the first thing they brought out where I'm really like,
Pound fail.
pound fail.
Yeah, hashtag.
Hashtag.
I
Oh
like
God,
saying
no,
pound.
no.
Yeah, no, I like saying pound.
No, I like that you say pound, but don't start saying hashtag stuff.
Oh, we're not hashtagging
Hashtag
here?
disagree.
So, perpetual play, in summary,
Hashtag Bay Area Nerf.
you guys have been knocking it out of the park, and this one, you hit a dribbler to the mound, and you are now out.
It really, this one felt like sort of a gimmicky and really trying to make money sort of scheme. I'm not saying like they're not trying to make money on everything else, but this one felt like, yeah, this is $2 worth of stuff, and you're trying to charge me $15 for it.
Josh immediately shut me down when I opened my mouth. Like, are you going to tell me a company selling products is trying to make money?
No, I mean, but it felt like Pog level us trying to make money, okay?
Pogs were awesome.
They are, but they weren't worth the money that people started paying for them when they were
are
at
if you
their
love
height.
them.
And that's the bi-weekly Nerf review from our local Nerf hipster, Josh Pagan.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very disappointing.
Well, we're sorry you were disappointed, Josh.
That's all good.
The good news is you stopped me from buying it, and I appreciate that.
I try. That's what we're here for.
It's hard to stop me from buying anything.
Yep, we're trying to save people some dinero.
Yeah, I mean, Perpetual Play makes a lot of good items that are well worth your money. So, I mean, I'm not knocking the whole brand. I'm just saying this particular one, it doesn't sound like a good fit.
For the $15, you can get their Nerf Machete, which is, same price. Or a Hammer Shot.
Or Magnus.
There's just so much other stuff you can get.
You can actually get real items to use in HVZ.
Right. And then just go buy a $2 bandana.
Yes.
Somewhere. Done.
And it can match your outfit like what I do in Nerf.
Boom.
I have like 5 green bandanas.
He does.
I want to be the Green Ranger.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
If you ever show up anywhere in spandex, that's a wrap.
Too late.
Hashtag wrap.
Too late. There are pictures of me in 3rd grade as a Green Ranger.
That's okay in 3rd grade.
So let's move along. Let's go to something that's more exciting.
There's things that are more exciting.
Yeah, there's been some stuff that's come out. We went from Nerf news for the Magnus to not Nerf, which is Perpetual Play, to really not Nerf Blaster.
So we're gonna go. Are we gonna go to third-party accessory time?
Yeah, it's third-party accessory time.
Oh,
Yeah.
third-party accessory time on Nerfcast with Josh, Shawn, and B.F.U.
Yes.
Where we talk about third-party accessories and whether they get the thumbs up or the thumbs down.
Yep. So, that happened.
Hashtag BFU talk.
Hashtag probably BFU's last podcast. Not get invited back.
Hashtag no.
Not in my house. All right, so this week, pretty exciting stuff. Blasterparts.de.
Yep.
Those wonderful, wonderful people from over in URAP came out with a Aliens 2 inspired ammo counter.
Yep.
I believe they sent a kit to Bolololo
Zug.
Yeah.
and Griffin Mods.
Yeah.
The two I saw so far. I'm sure other people got one, but
I'm sure ours is in the mail.
yeah,
They don't know where to mail it.
we're gonna need some more clicks.
Yes.
So
Well, good thing you have a shop.
I watched both videos, and Griffin Mods review was pretty deep. I thought they did a really good job with it. I thought Bobo's was good too, but Griffin Mods just a couple little extra. Both said about the same thing. It was a really good kit, really well made. It's all 3D printed, leaning to the theory that 3D printing is going to change the world. Yeah. It's really cool because you can move from blaster to blaster pretty easily. It's got a side mount. It's got a mount for horizontal mounting and a mount for top rail mounting, which is really cool. And the wires all contained in like a little housing unit. You put the barrel extension on your blaster. It's all bored out like a Spectre, not a Spectre barrel, like a Spectre barrel. That's right.
You're right.
Like a Spectre barrel, so it doesn't affect performance. Uses some UV, like a UV, almost like a virtual tripwire on the inside to count the ammo as it passes. Seems to work. Griffin Mods tested with a modded Rapid Strike, and it kept up just fine. Seems like it's gonna be. It seems like it's pretty cool. And then the price tag is €99, and with shipping to America, unless you're a Nerf elitist, and the good kind of elitist, not like I sit in my mom's basement and make stuff elitist. I mean, like I buy everything elitist. It's even a little pricey for me, and Lord knows that we have not found the Nerf thing that I won't spend money on yet.
That is true.
I'm even considering having Coop do a Dahmer for me. That's how committed I am.
He's made a couple. He's replicated them.
Yeah. So I know you guys both watched the video. So thoughts?
I'll let you go first, Shawn, so we don't forget you.
Yeah, Shawn.
Hey!
Shawn can go. Shawn.
To be honest with you, like looking at the Nerf community, we're a decent sized community. We're not ginormous by any means, but we are large and very spread out across the world. One thing I'd like to point out right now is elite pinpoint sites. How much those will sell for? There's clearly a market of Nerfers who are willing to spend a lot of money to get their stuff tactical. That said, if you're willing to spend $60, $70 on an elite pinpoint site, I don't see any reason you can't justify spending another $40 to actually get something that's useful for your blaster. This blaster is very sturdy. It's solid. Bobo was gripping it and saying there's no creaking. You don't hear the plastic bending at all. Very solidly built, reliable. It serves a decent function. I mean, I'll be honest with you, with the clear magazines, I've gotten very used just to checking. It takes about half a second to check to see where my ammo is, how much I have left, and then knowing to swap on the fly and be able to swap quickly. If I see this being mostly useful for people with modded electric blasters, so like a Rapid Strike, maybe a Strife, anything with high capacity 235 round drum. If you know you're just going to be vomiting darts out and you don't have the time to keep on checking constantly, see how many shots do I have, it is nice just being able to look down the barrel of your gun, see that ammo ticking away, and then being able to adjust based on that. It almost removes thought out of the process. The problem I have with it is the fact that you still have to hit the button to reset it when you load it with a new magazine.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's something that I think it bothered all of us, but with that right there, well, not all of us.
No, just you and me.
Okay, I see it as a problem because it doesn't seem like it'd be very hard to program it that when something hits 0, you go up to the original full amount. Of course, I didn't program it, so I don't really know, but I have taken like C courses, so I have done elementary programming. And it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to have that option in there. In the middle of a firefight, it does seem like kind of a hassle to have to hit a button to reset it when it should be something that's automatic.
Right.
But other than that, like I said, if you want to trick out your blaster, if you can justify the cost for an elite pinpoint sight, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't just get this just because it's cool. It looks very cool. It's a great concept. I think it's something that a lot of people have done on their own, but not nearly as clean and organized. And for the price, I mean, it's something that almost nobody else is going to have on the battlefield. So usually the people going for tactical, that's the goal, to be the only person on the battlefield with your blaster.
Yeah, I agree with most all of that. I think where this will really be awesome is for HVZers at night, running, like you said, a Strife or a Rapid Strike. Not so much on the manual blasters, but it could work. It just seems like a little bit of a waste because you can pretty much count your shots with those. But because at night you can easily assess how much ammo you have, your full ammo capacity, instead of counting down or trying to look and see when it's really dark, that'll be really awesome. I would love to throw one of these on a Rapid Strike. Again, I brought up the same thing that Shawn did, where it doesn't reset, and in a high stress situation where you're just throwing another mag in and going, you've now lost your ammo counting capabilities. Because if you throw it in and you don't hit that button because you immediately have to assess someone, take some shots, then come back down, then hit the reset button, now you're all messed up and you don't know where you're going to be. So it would be really helpful if it went to 0, it just came right back, and boom. Because it uses the infrared sensors to count the darts, there's really no fear of you. I know with some other counters, the way people have done it is every time you pull the trigger, it goes down and stuff like that. Well, if there's no ammo, it'll continue to go down. You don't have to worry about that with this because it's actually sensing a dart getting pushed forward. Does suck for a jam assessment because obviously then you are now down a dart when you shouldn't be, so it might say you have more ammo than you do, but that's just sort of the nature of ammo counters. They're never going to be perfect unless they're 100% built into the blaster. I love the modular design. The fact you can put this on pretty much any blaster out there right now, as long as you can attach a front barrel and you can just throw it on any tack rail. So that actually means kind of sucks for people who run Alpha Troopers because you can't put the barrel on the front.
Excellent point.
Yep. Just throwing that out there. So double think that before you spend a lot of money if you have an Alpha Trooper as your primary.
And by the way, just to correct myself real quick, I said it might be like 40 or 50 more bucks in an elite pinpoint sight. I just pulled up a currency converter from euros to dollars. It's actually about $134 US.
Before shipping.
Yeah, so this might be a couple. I think the difference between elite pinpoint sights and this is one is a practical tactical application and one is strictly tactical. I wouldn't pay that sort of money for an elite pinpoint sight personally. If they came out in the US, I would buy them at retail. I would go like $20 elite pinpoint sight. Cool. It adds a little something. It is not actually practically helpful. This is a lot of money, but you're going to get something that actually can help you.
Serves a purpose.
Correct. How about you, Mr. B.F.U?
I likes it a lot.
Yeah, he was. I got here. Like, oh, you see the video?
Yeah, and then he killed my joy, but that's cool. I'm used to that. You can't be a true Nerf hipster without stealing other people's joy. And He doesn't wear tight pants, so he doesn't see the joy that way, at least.
I said it was cool.
No. Anyways, so I'm really excited to have a company like Blasterparts. They did the conversion kit for the Centurion, and they also actually, based on Bobo's feedback, changed the design a little bit so the newer kits going out don't have a design flaw in them. And, the fact that they can make some money off a really cool idea. I see ammo counters, people making them at home all the time. The fact that it's able to, what I like the best about it, and what I'm glad and willingly will trade for having to hit a button, is the fact that I can move it from blaster to blaster pretty easily. So I could change my loadout in between games. All I need is a little Phillips head screwdriver, which I use now for changing batteries, and swap it to my next blaster. I think that is pretty neat.
I agree.
I'm willing to hit the button and trade for something like that. And I agree with Shawn. If it was out of ammo and it reset, but then someone would say, "Well, what if I want to change what the type of ammo I use and the count?" And
That's what it's
then I
always
got to hit the
be.
button anyway.
Yeah.
So either way, I think it's cool. I think probably ain't gonna sell too many over America, guys. It's kind of pricey for 130 plus shipping. You figure at least $25 shipping, $150. Might as well pay Coop to build me a gun.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, you start looking at $150, $160. Then I'm like, I mean, this is me. I'll spend. Go back to the earlier podcast. Y'all see how much I spend.
Yeah.
It is the top upper echelon of tactical.
Yeah.
You will be a tactical royalty with this little attachment.
I mean, I would be very interested to see how well these sell and just see how much of the Nerf community is willing to spend that much on an item. Because like I said, we're still a growing community. If we were as big as some other sports out there, I could definitely see people being willing to drop that much money.
Oh, definitely.
I don't see it being a problem at all. I just think for the nature of the hobby, for about $150, that is 10 hammer shots.
Oh, yeah.
That is enough to outfit your own war for the most part, for most places in the country.
Yeah, it is rough. It's not like it's not like airsoft where people will spend that much on, some people will spend that much on stuff. A lot. You can airsoft is a whole different community and a whole different subsects of people that are willing to spend certain amounts. But yeah, so it's cool. It's a thing. I'm sure someone out there is going like, yeah, but you can't change from red LEDs to blue. I want my ammo counter to be in blue. I mean, you're always going to have people that complain about something stupid.
Yeah, there are
because,
minor details, and I think there are certain things that I could see them changing even like in a 3.0 version.
Correct.
Like, that's the thing. Like, this is their, I guess, second version of this type of ammo counter to come out.
Right, the other one, I believe you had to incorporate internally into your system. This is the first one that you can just totally modular and you can swap from blaster to blaster.
Yeah, each time it's a step up. So,
Correct.
I mean, as we've seen with Bobo's review of the Centurion conversion kit, they're willing to take feedback and add it into their designs. And, of course, with all production, usually the more time goes on, production costs go down. So we might even get a cheaper version in the future.
That's what I'm thinking.
And 130 may not be that pricey. I mean, I'm looking at a local company that does some 3D printing, and the Laser Gnomes, check them out on Facebook.
Yeah.
Their master key integrator, it basically is a tack rail, like a rail.
It's a rail
thing.
attachment that goes from your blaster to a rough cut.
Right.
And it ain't that big, and it's $60.
Right.
So maybe I'm underestimating how much it costs to actually print stuff.
Correct. No, I think that the price for it is actually fair if you consider what it's doing and how much printed plastic it is. You need to program it. You need the actual ammo counter itself, the LEDs, the UV LEDs that they're using. There's a lot goes into it.
Yeah.
It's not just like I'm printing a small little part. And like you said, that's $60 for something that basically just is a rail-to-rail adapter.
Right.
And I mean, it's there's a lot more plastic than that going into
I think that's what's tough with a lot of Nerf companies that come up with third-party products. They aren't trying to gouge us on price at all. Like, obviously, they have to make something for their time to work on something, but I feel like for the most part, when they're coming out with a product, the cost is high, but that's because the amount of materials and time going into it is also high.
I would agree. I mean, like we said, there's a lot going into this thing. There's a lot of materials. there's a lot of maybe the time to put it together isn't as much as some other things, but they're not doing it in China. They're not just doing it in a factory. They're not pumping these out. They have to actually print them, which takes a lot of time usually to print these things and assemble them. And then all of the entire prototype process and all that, that's not like most companies where there's an R&D department, and they're researching this stuff and then they make a product and it goes to production and then they sell millions of units, so they're going to make their money back. With these guys, it's, we spend a lot of time researching this and trying to perfect this for the community. And then the little bit of money that they're making probably isn't going to cover their time costs if you actually look into from idea to inception.
Let me put it this way. If there was a $100 Nerf gun where the performance justified the cost, like it was just that good, I would have no problem buying a $150 attachment to it to make it that much better. Yeah. The problem is when I look at most Nerf guns that I'd be using this with, I'm like, it's a $20 blaster.
So what you're saying is the Centurion didn't suck, you would consider it?
Yes. If the Centurion didn't suck, I could use it to help me count my 6 shots.
You actually can use it on a Centurion because it doesn't take barrel attachments, but I just wanted to do that, sorry.
Super glue.
Yeah, super glued.
Super glue. I mean, it just has to pass through the barrel. That's the main part.
But overall, it's pretty cool that they're coming out with stuff like that.
It is really cool that they have stuff like that.
Companies are popping up trying to do this a lot, so props to them for making it. I'm still considering buying the Centurion conversion kit if the rumor of harder, firmer darts, foamed mega darts, does not turn out to be true.
Well, hopefully soon we'll be seeing Magnus blasters in stores, and we can actually buy one and test it out.
That's the dream.
The funny thing is, if the Magnus is really good, right, and it really does shoot farther than most elites and more accurate.
Yes. I'm
like, why wouldn't I just stick a buttstock on it, find a way to put a barrel on it, and turn it into a sniper rifle anyway? If it doesn't suck.
That's true.
But it makes me so sad. Because the Centurion looks so awesome.
It looks really cool. But yeah, functionality-wise, I agree with you. There's a lot of times I play Team Fortress 2, I'll go as a heavy and shoot at people far away on the map. It's like, you know what? This gun isn't accurate, but I can still hit you from all the way here. And all I need is to do a little bit of damage to you to get rid of you. So it's like, yeah, same principle applies. If it's a gun that's not meant to do something, but it still works for that feature, then yeah, why wouldn't I just use it for that too? It's more versatile then.
Correct.
So I think that's all for the third party, or not third party, but for the printed homemade accessory thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some other accessories come out here and there, but I think we'll save some of them till we can either review them, other things.
Did we get to last time we talked about the internals of the power bell, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Did. Okay. We mentioned it because I remember saying it didn't see one day. I got here and I was like, oh, B.F.U is going to show me how good it should, and he ripped it apart.
Yeah, we talked about your
Didn't
mod.
even pull the trigger.
Yeah, go out and buy power bells.
Yeah.
Easiest thing to do a mod with in your entire lives.
Yeah.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
That's for real. Oh, you know what? I did think of something else. It's sort of minor, so there's not a whole lot of talking that we're going to do about it.
Go on.
But there are new Zombiestrike Jolts.
Ooh.
And the power pair is now being sold individually. The power pair, like the
I know what the power pair is. I'm
Jolt.
looking at you funny because I'm like, okay.
So instead of having two, right, you can buy just one, like a Jolt.
But is it a power
it's not
single?
Called, it's not. They have different names for them. So when they first
showed it,
one is called
power and the other is called pair.
Ooh. That would actually be cool, but it is sadly not. Neither of them individually, they have different paint jobs and they come then as they do together.
Oh, okay.
But each one is called something different, and I don't understand why Nerf would do this to us. Because
they can.
The Wild Shot, part of the Sweet Revenge kit.
So even that, I'm like, all right, if they actually release this by itself and call it the Wild Shot, I'd be all right, and just say the Sweet Revenge kit was a kit. I can understand the power pair being a kit. I can understand it coming out by itself and being its own thing, but the two different colors are both called two different things, if I'm not mistaken.
Girls like names.
But here's the thing. I'd be willing to accept that too, except for all of the bows are just called the Nerf friggin' bow.
No, the gold bow is called the Golden Edge bow.
Yeah, Josh.
No, the other two.
Oh.
Yeah, Josh.
But still, not all the bows. Golden Edge.
Actually, no, you know what? I think you're right. One of them is the Phoenix and the other one is the something.
Heartbreaker.
Oh. I just everybody always refers to it as a heartbreaker bow.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's what they do.
We don't know because everyone's probably going to call the power pair as singles. Oh, he's got a power pair.
Uh-oh.
Killing me with
You're
the
about to-
One
rebel
man
stuff.
should have all that
Josh,
power.
I need you to hand me your Nerf hipster card, please. I'm going to need that back, buddy. See what I do?
You need that back.
I crown you the hipster. And
Yep.
now I got to give it to Shawn.
Yep. There you go.
You
You enjoy that
So,
one.
funny thing about Jolts, when you
Yep.
brought that up to me, I had a startling realization. I do not own a Jolt.
That is a startling realization.
I own...
It makes sense because you just flew right past the jolt.
No, I own a Fire Strike. And I own a Triad.
Yeah,
Well,
but
triads are good.
the Jolt came out the generation before that.
Oh.
The
okay.
Jolt is from the N-Strike generation.
Yeah.
It's
What do you think
pre-elite.
with all those Craigslist lots I picked up?
You would think somebody
I would
got
have
rid
thought
of the
somebody would have got rid of a Jolt. I don't own a Jolt, so I am looking forward to a Zombiestrike Jolt with extra dart attacher.
Jolt. Oh, yeah.
Extra dart attacher, which holds a couple extra darts. And I don't think the other Jolts came with that, right?
No, they did not.
So it is Zombiestrike colored to match my other Zombiestrike stuff.
Boom.
Ish.
Ba-boom.
Looks like it matches the crossover. What was that? The crossbow called?
Oh, I don't remember what that thing's called.
Cross strike.
Yeah,
Something strike.
It's, yeah.
The
Josh,
crossbow.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to earn your hipster card back. How many different colored jolts are there?
Hold on. Are we talking actual Jolts or are we talking about the... there's a dart tagline that has something very similar to the Jolt in it, which is essentially a Jolt, but it has two places where you can hold darts. Then there's the Clue board game that comes with Jolts. So that's, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are we talking about the new ones that are clear? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Counting the power pair, 15, 16, 17, 18 or so, something like that.
About 18, yeah.
I didn't know the number, and hipster card re-engaged. Yeah.
Because here's the thing, Josh kind of started collecting jolts after a while, and I started counting how many he was buying. It was at the clue set where I'm like, okay, he's got to have pretty much every color at this point now, and then more and more keep coming out.
Yes.
More and more.
More, all of them. Oh, so many Jolts. It's funny because actually I believe it was Southern Brisbane Nerf Club actually did a post, I believe, about Hasbro, stop bringing out Jolts. Because there's just so many. But I don't care. I like them. I'm like, you know what? Bring me more Jolts.
There's a character in Trigun, which is an anime that came out a couple of years ago.
Wait, a couple of years ago?
Don't make me feel old, Josh.
This isn't This is not the Trigon that fights the Teen Titans.
No, Trigun, as in...
No,
gun.
it is not Raven's father.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that's more comic knowledge than I thought you had, Sean.
Teen Titans Go.
Oh, TV show.
When there's trouble,
no.
we're cool.
We're cool.
I just ruined all
So
respect I
Trigun
got.
came out like friggin' 15 years ago or something.
I was rereading the manga like a month ago.
Doesn't a dude look like the dude from Devil May Cry? Does he
Yeah,
look like
that's
No,
all
he doesn't-
anime characters look like Devil May
He
Cry
has
to
a
you.
trench coat. Like Devil May Cry, and also like
it's so true.
like
Ghost,
Hellsing as well.
Ghost in the Shell, Devil May Cry,
One Piece.
Akira and being named Tom.
Tetsuo. Anywho, there's a character on that anime called Derringer Millie.
Yep.
And she has a coat, and she opens it up, and it's just full of Derringers.
Yep.
She's got like 100 in her coat, and she just goes and pop, pop, pop.
So we're gonna call him Joshy McJolt.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Derringer
Thanks
Josh.
for that one, Arjan. Joshy McJolt.
Joshy McJolt.
It's a good nickname because you put Mick in front of it.
He's Irish, so that makes
Is it
sense.
Joshy McJoshy? No, Jolty McJolty Locks? Is that what it would be?
Jolty Locks
Jolty
and the
McJosh
30
Jolt.
Jolts.
Joshy McJolt Josh. Lots of J's.
Arjan's gonna punch me when I get home when he hears this.
If you guys need to look up who
Jolt
Arjang,
Travolta.
if you guys want to know who Arjang is, he is the swarthy fellow who runs around in the Captain America shirt at our Nerf games, which you can
Hey,
see
he also runs around in the Venom shirt.
Damn it, I was
in the
gonna
Venom
go
shirt. He's in the tank top. He's kind of brown and got black hair.
Kind of brown.
And
He's born
and,
from France.
He's from France by way of Afghanistan, and he's one of our loyal listeners and one of our best friends.
back.
And
I've known that guy for like
21
22
years.
21, 22.
I'm close.
I think last year was...
I have approximate knowledge of all things.
Yes.
so I'm looking at my bookshelf, and we never talked about the Golden Edge bow in any of the podcasts.
Glitter.
No.
All that glitters is gold?
It's
Only
textured.
shooting stars break
First
the
of
mold.
all, you know what? It's textured glitter. You know what?
Well,
F
wait,
you.
isn't glitter
Hold on.
textured?
F you guys. I'm getting up and grabbing it.
It's like, no, it's not glitter. It's textured glitter.
It's different. It's special.
podcast at the house.
I said glitter.
Grab stuff.
I said glitter, not shiny. If I said shiny, I could understand you saying it's textured shiny.
Textured glitter. Feel the glitter.
That's glitter. Glitter is always textured.
No, okay, here's the thing though, Josh.
I bought it.
It's not flaking off.
I know, I bought it.
That's how you know it's good quality, because I thought I was going to touch it, and I was going to look like I was touching a stripper.
Do you remember when I sent both of you messages and said, who wants this?
Yeah, I said me.
Yeah.
No, I
touched a lot of these in the store. I was like, oh.
He asked me because I told him to look for it because I was going to get it for you as a gift.
Oh.
Yep.
To make amends for something.
I'm gonna make. The funny thing is, I'm gonna mod it for my wife, hoping she plays this season.
Yeah.
Because she likes catching fire and she wants to be Katniss Abernathy.
Everyone wants to be Jennifer Lawrence.
So
she's perfect.
It comes with something the other bows do not come with.
Correct.
A stand-up cardboard target with a hole in the
Now,
middle.
will it stand up if you remove your hand from it?
The question is that worth the extra $5 you're paying for?
No, $5 cheaper.
$5 cheaper. It also comes with exclusive white darts with pink tips
That
Oh,
say
that's how you
Rebel
know
on
they're
them
better
in
than the
pink.
other ones.
that say Rebel on them, and you cannot get them with any other blaster or any other kit.
Also, also, the string is also gold and shiny.
That is cool.
One of them ribbons that you would
The
tie
string is
up
gold.
a
So
present with.
the funny thing is, I had Josh get me this thing because it's like, I don't know, I just have to have stuff.
Yep.
And I did a mod for one of the other boats. I don't remember which one. I think it was the blue one.
I think it was the actual Heartbreaker.
Was it the Heartbreaker? Okay, it wasn't the Phoenix then.
Yep.
And I made it better. Josh still hates it, but I made it better. He has
They
no
say
practice.
anything that I kind of like, it could.
No,
they're like,
no.
hate
Sean,
hate.
Sean, you were there for this. You can attest to the fact that I was excited, and Josh was like, "Yeah, I'm killing your dreams right now."
Josh hates everything.
But you love everything. So the difference is every
Not
time
true.
I'm like, it's not great.
I hear
You're
the
like,
term "mad booty" a lot from BFU. when
So
it
here's
comes
the
to
thing,
Nerf.
Josh is scarred because of the Centurion incident. Because
I love the Powerball that I didn't get to see.
because I got the Centurion. I brought Josh over at like midnight, and it was awesome that night. And Josh co-signed on its awesomeness. And we get to Nerf the very next day, and it poops. And everyone's looking at Josh like, "But you're not supposed to co-sign with him when it's poop."
His credit rating went to
He got
double A
his
minus.
Nerf hipster card suspended for 90 days. He couldn't buy any blasters. It was all over the interwebs. So now every time I say something's better, Josh is on this trust and verify stuff. BFU, I trust you. I just want to verify you're not a crackpot.
I just look at things practically how I would use them, and I'm like, I wouldn't.
So
Josh, here's the problem. What you will use is an Alpha Trooper.
No, I think the Strife is good.
and the hammer shot.
I think the Hammer Shot is good. I think the Retaliator is good. I used a Retaliator entirely through the Elite line until the Alpha Trooper came out.
I've never seen you use one, so I can't explain that.
I was there during season
So
one.
here's the thing. I
Before
agree
Nerf
with
was
Josh that the bow is impractical.
Correct.
It's a one shot. If you're going to use one shot, you might as well use something else. Okay, I'm not saying it's not impractical. What I'm saying is it's still a cool looking bow, and when you fix it, it works better.
See, I totally agree with you. It looks really awesome. We explained this on the podcast already, where I have another bow that you can draw back, and it's just like a plunger.
It's a bicycle pump.
Bicycle pump.
It looks like
And
a
then
bicycle
I have
pump
this other bow that you can draw back.
Yeah.
And it shoots like 125 feet.
So
that you've never hit one person.
I hit you with it
Even-
once.
wait,
I don't count. I'm
even
fat.
the blazon bow has more real bow action, where you just pull and
Blazing
the entire
bows.
thing
Blazing
comes
bow's
back.
horrible.
I'm not saying that it isn't, but I'm saying the way that you use it is more bow-like. This just feels really. You've got like an inch of draw that actually matters.
After the
bow.
mod.
Well,
inch of draw that matters. Yeah,
Before
you're right.
the
You're right.
mod, you have a bunch of draw that does absolutely nothing, and then it's still an inch. So that's what kills me about it.
He's right.
I'm like, yes, it is impractical, but that just right there could have made it for it's impractical but fun to impractical and it's really annoying that I have to do this tiny little draw.
See, for me, everything's just killed after the Zing bow. The Zing bow does exactly what I want. It gives me bow-like action and accuracy and distance.
It does, but it also, if you didn't get the hookup on it, that whole kit you would have cost you like $450.
Yeah, it's really rough to run a Zing bow at games and only have like 3
Josh got the
shots.
hookup from a
Yeah.
friend of ours who got in for 10 minutes and
Sean.
got back out.
Yeah, I
Sean.
did.
Sean.
I
that guy.
gave him the money.
Sean. the taller one.
Yes.
Got a hook
Because
up
we
from
look
our,
exactly the same, other than the fact.
hook up for our friend from our friend Chris, who got in for 10 minutes and got back out.
Yeah, I've told this story a couple times where he gave me a very good deal on everything.
Yeah,
threw
when
in a couple
he
bows
never
for free.
specifies what very good deal means. We're talking like base head. I need Ready Rock clearance. Okay,
They're like,
'Cause
there's
Chris
so many
ran her-
10-year-olds listening to this. What does that mean, Mom?
look up
What is Spacehead
look up Ronald Reagan and look up Ready Rock and Kraken DC, and you will find out. Okay.
Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
So he got it for like less than half of what Chris paid for everything. So he's walking around with like $400+ of Zing equipment.
Yep.
And he's like, "Yeah, this is awesome." Yeah, it's awesome because you have a lot of it.
Here's the thing. I would have been okay because I think he cut me like a 50% off deal.
More. We watched him buy that
I
stuff.
paid $150 for it all.
Yeah, he paid more than $300.
Yeah, it was
We
But
watched
he kept
him.
buying bows.
So he spent money the way I spent. It was we got into Nerf the same weekend. He spent money like I spent money. He just bought all Zing bows.
And I did give him the right that anytime he's at a game, he gets to use the
That's
arrows
cool.
regardless.
Oh no, I'm not saying
Yeah.
as bad as you got the hookup.
Yeah.
I'm saying the Nerf world needs to know you are talking about Zing from a whole different perspective than the normal Nerf.
Yeah.
I think you are
Where they're
one-
like,
you are-
I have 6 arrows.
You are one of 2 people on this earth to ever experience Zing bows and have like an actual quiver full,
It's
like
so
Hawkeye.
good, though.
And the other person's the dude you bought him off of.
Yes, and he's Green Arrow. So I took one of the bows and painted it Hawkeye purple for a Halloween costume too.
So what I was saying was,
if he listens to this, he's cringing like, "Damn it, my bow!"
if you want real bow action, not real bow action. I'm sorry. If you want bow-ish action,
Yes.
I would take this over the blazing bow. It uses stock darts. It's still one shot at a time, and it can be easily modded to be much, much better.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. And we never talked about the golden edge bow, and it looks cool.
It does
Although
look cool.
the handle needs to be swapped from pink to black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It would look a lot better in the other color.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm going to swap the handle from pink to black.
And
or I'll
it
just-
isn't even because we dislike pink, because there's other pink on the blaster. It's just it looks kind of odd as a handle.
Let me emphasize, I just painted a Zingbo purple too, so
Right.
I don't
Correct.
mind girl
No,
colors.
I just don't think pink on this one looks good. I'd rather see the handle black
Or purple.
Or purple. Yeah, purple
and
would
then
work.
have the rest.
Purple's
the
very
pink that's
royal.
in there
It goes
is-
with the gold.
yeah, I agree with
But
that.
I just wanted to, because we don't talk about some offshoot
Yeah.
stuff, and Josh bought it for me. I still haven't opened it yet, but I'm going to mod it for my wife.
Actually, speaking of paint, we saw a picture of the orange strife again today.
We did. Let me get it
and,
for Sean while you're
it
talking.
looks
Yep.
different. So I don't know if there's 2 different versions, or the other picture is just really bad, or I'm just crazy. And when I looked at it really quick, I didn't remember. There is a white stripe and white accents on the picture that we saw today. Well, that BFU showed me today, that make it look awesome. So basically, everything where I was like, yeah, it's okay, but it's just so orange. This picture doesn't show it as being that orange.
And to give credit where credit is due, it was who posted it? Awesomely Nerf.
In stereo. See, I don't remember
It's like
the other
it looks
one.
like a creamsicle.
Yeah, that's the same one, dude.
Is
Yeah, it didn't look the same
did-
in the first picture. It
the
looked more
first
orange.
picture,
That's
there's
the
not as
exact
much
same one, 'cause
white.
It seemed like I don't remember the white. I don't remember that the white stripe being that prominent. I remember
Well,
being
you
more
know what
orange.
it is actually? It's because it has the Super Soaker stock on it, so that's adding a lot more white right there.
That might be
So
it.
it,
It was
could
just
be.
that one middle white
That might be
stripe,
it.
which isn't a lot by itself. It looks great with the Super Soaker stock, which I have. So that means I'm going to buy the orange version. and
Josh,
just
do
hook
I
it
have
up
a
and make
Super
it look
Soaker
good.
stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, you
I
do.
I have one.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
You have 50 pounds of Nerf. Oh, you probably have more than that at this point.
First of all, all my Nerf stuff, my stuff I play with, all my stuff outside in the barrels of desolation is not just mine. Pagan has contributed a solid half.
the
to all that
desolates of BFU.
So you guys understand, at my house, we decided my house would house all our extra Nerf stuff for myself and Josh. And I think Sean might have a couple things in there.
I have 0, but I will gladly start bringing stuff here because my parents are getting mad at
And
me.
my wife will not gladly.
They do
let you
not like all
anything.
the stuff I leave in the garage.
So me and Josh came up on these 2 5-foot-long, deep, like weatherproof outside storage containers for really cheap, like $100 for both. And we put all our yellow End Strike stuff in there, which I had acquired because I got into Nerf and was just buying everything Nerf on Craigslist without consulting Josh or Sean. That was not smart.
Yeah. I didn't want to break your dreams, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I got like 3 Raiders in this
Yeah,
deal.
you don't cut the fish off the line when you got them on, right? So basically, we put it all outside, and now we are wanting to sell it for a really cheap price. I keep begging Josh to open up the eBay account so we could sell these things for like $3.
Yes. That is true.
Bring in hobby. Have them
So,
sell it.
real quick, because I just pulled up the old image, I figured out what it was. So I'm looking at it, and it does still have that same white stripe, but you can't see in the package the handle, which is all black and it has a little tiny white or gray thing at the bottom. And the buttstock. The buttstock has white on it, whereas the attachment for the buttstock is also orange. Like if you look at the Elite Alpha Trooper, how it has an orange in the back, while most blasters have a gray. It also has orange, so it just looked really orange. And then it has a 6-round magazine popping out the bottom that I didn't even really.
At the end of the day,
orange.
Sean, you were right. It's the white buttstock breaks it up and it looks really nice.
Yeah.
Good job, Sean.
Yeah, I did
up
something.
top. All right. First time.
I knew something about Nerf for once, guys.
Wait, watch out, Josh. Your hipster card's on its way.
Yes.
Steal it.
I mean, no, I still stand by my statement before where this looks really orange by itself. Sean is just very correct where it looks way better with the
accessories make the look.
I was getting one either way, but speaking of which, when are those supposed to hit? Anybody I haven't heard any news.
Oh, someone on Reddit was talking about that they think it might be like a Black Friday exclusive deal, like maybe the whiteout looking rough cuts and these ones were going to come out for a limited release around a holiday and that's it.
Pagan.
Just like the
you
Red
are on
series?
Black Friday Nerf detail because I know you're not working on Black Friday.
That is probably true.
Right. So you're on Black Friday Nerf patrol because I work retail and I have to work.
You just figure that they'd maybe advertise that a little bit.
Yeah, you would think, but
then again, they didn't advertise the Alpha
I
Trooper
need you on
or the Hammer Shot
on the
Those things are
interwebs
magical.
because the East Coast 3-hour time difference, so they'll tell us first. I need you all over this like a wet blanket. Do I have your agreement?
Yep.
To be fair, let's talk real for a second. What the East Coast gets and what we get on the West Coast aren't always the same thing.
Also true.
Air Max 10.
How dare you kill my dreams? No, Josh found them
Finally, but it took a couple months to
Yeah,
get here.
up top,
It was.
and he found them. He found
couple weeks.
he found the cool ones too.
They're different colored.
Yeah, he found the gunmetal gray ones.
Yeah.
Did you get one?
No.
Why?
Josh never asked me if I wanted
Yes,
one.
I asked you that night, and you said I'll just pick one up later.
Why would I say that? I don't shop at Walmart.
That's what I was
Hold
like.
up,
Maybe it's because
Would you ask me this Saturday? Because you know what happened.
No.
Okay, then I don't know what happened.
I'm like maybe I figured
probably don't want it enough is what it breaks
I thought
down
it was
to.
either you didn't want it enough or you wanted to buy the Target color because you hate Walmart so much. I figured it was one or the other.
Actually, that's probably it. I do not support Walmart
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
So
I won't go into why.
We speaking of Reddit, is it time?
Hold up, before we
No?
do the Reddit rant, I do want to talk about one thing we got in the mail recently.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes, indeed.
That is really awesome. So we got the big old book of Nerf.
Yes, and we apologize. We will be getting some pictures up and a more formal review. But for right now, we got it in the mail. It's pretty cool. There's been some mixed reviews online. When I say mixed reviews, there's been one like really, really bad review.
They didn't let me touch it yet.
That is also true. It's not.
You can only look, you can't touch. It costs
They
extra.
didn't let me look at it yet either. I'm like that's how you know I'm a guest still.
It's true. It's so true.
Yeah.
But I believe it's Powerhouse Books publishes it. It should actually be out right now. It is available. Some people have ordered off Amazon, already got their copy. The long and short of it is, I think it's really awesome. The biggest complaint that I saw about the book was you can go onto Amazon, look up the book, you can read the review. I've personally met the person who put the review up.
Oh, yeah.
They were really mad that the first actual blaster that shoots darts is not in the book. The first foam blaster is not included in a book that's supposed to be the ultimate with the history of Nerf. They actually reference the blaster, but the picture they have is the second version of the blaster. There were some problems with like the original Nerf foam ball colors that they describe aren't. He had other colors when he was a kid. There's a lot of stuff. So I will put it like this: if you want a super specific history of all Nerf and all things Nerf, this is not the book for you. If you just want a more general idea of the timeline of Nerf that goes into a little bit of detail of the current products that are available, since probably about the N-Strike line, most of the products, not even all of them, but most, it is a fun little book. I think if you know someone who's into Nerf and you don't know what to get them because you don't know what blasters they have or don't have or what they need, this would be a cool, fun little item, something for people to put in their bookshelves or in their cubicle if they have work. where it's neat. Now there's a really cool page that has some stuff concerning the Vulcan, I believe, and it's sort of from idea to the actual product and some of the steps they took in making it. I really wish they did that with more of the blasters, and they went into some of those details. I don't know if they couldn't get information from Nerf, or if they just didn't want the book to be too crazy and big, but it's fun. It's got a little Nerf timeline. It's not 100% complete. You know, but it's nice. And you get 6 exclusively darts.
I want to say 6.
Yeah, I think it's 6. And for around the $20 I think that it's retailing at, it's for a gift. It's really cool. You know, really you can decide for yourself if you want it. If you can see these in bookstores, go to a Barnes & Noble and look at it.
Just check it out.
Yeah, you'll see if you want it right away or not.
I think it's a great introductory book for anyone who's just recently gotten into Nerf and is totally obsessing over it. Like, for example, when B.F.U was first getting into Nerf, I think this would have been a good gift for him because he sit here, read about every blaster, what everything does. I think he would have enjoyed it a little bit. Or potentially some other Nerfers out there.
Especially kids.
Especially kids.
They
Kids
will love
this.
this. Yeah.
When I was telling Josh about this, when I was little, I had a little book that I read about it's like construction equipment and stuff like that, and it had pictures in the book, and it told you what the construction equipment did. I didn't care. I just liked the pictures of like, oh, that's so cool looking. I remember I would take it everywhere with me. I took it in the car, I took it in the bathtub. I read that everywhere. And so I agree. It's a great gift for kids because it gets them excited about stuff without having to go out and buy every single blaster.
Right. You can look at it. People have already had reviews like that where I went through it with my kids or my nephews, and you know, we enjoyed looking at blasters they had, which ones they don't have and they want. But think of it as any of those Ultimate Guide to, and I'm doing air quotes again, Ultimate Guide to books for if you're a fan of most things or anything in particular. You will. I'm holding something in this hand, and I wanted them to be even, so that's why the air quotes were with my pinkies.
He did weird quotes with his pinkies and ring finger.
Anyway, if you're a fan of Batman and you go and you buy sort of a generic Ultimate Guide to Batman, and you know what I'm talking about, they all have the white covers and stuff like that. It's basically one of those. It's probably not going to have every single storyline of Batman in existence ever, but it'll generally touch on things. It might have some interesting stuff that more casual fans didn't know. But if you're the super diehard, I know every single thing that happened ever, you're going to be like, they're missing this.
Yeah, like I feel like if you wanted that much detail online, we have a Nerf wiki that goes into detail about every single blaster when everything came out. It's by diehard fans that focus on certain areas. So I feel like that will be what a completionist will use if they want information on something.
Right.
This is more just, I need a general landscape of what happened in Nerf and just to get familiarized with all the current blasters out right now. Agreed. It's like someone did a very good research project on what came out, the history of Nerf. I think it's good, $20. I don't know if I'd personally buy it. I feel like it's a great gift. I would love to receive one.
Right.
But it's one of those things where like I feel like a true Nerf fan won't actively want to go out and buy it, but it's a great gift for kids, or if you have a loved one who likes Nerf but you have no idea what blaster to buy them because you don't know what they already have.
Right. You're not going to probably learn a whole lot from it if you're already a huge Nerf head.
Yeah.
I feel like a second-class citizen because they didn't let me read the book yet.
Yep. Well, do you know how to read?
Yes. Which makes it all the more scornful.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. I've just never really seen it happen.
That one time.
I did see you on your tablet. You had a giant picture of a blue head.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what's going on there.
It's not to extend it. I was looking up. Engadget just did a review of the first handheld scanner for 3D printing. Mm-hmm. So it's basically a scanner that fits in the palm of your hand,
right?
And you can scan an entire person, feed that data into your printer, and it'll actually print out what you scanned.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty sweet.
From a 3D printing perspective, it's kind of a revolution because that's really been the misses to make it consumer usable is how do I get the images if I don't know how to do SuperCAD design.
The problem is you're going to start running into all sorts of like copyright infringement issues because Nerf has patents on a lot of their designs for stuff.
It's true.
That's another hard thing about getting into making.
Oh, if you're trying to make money, but see the thing is, so if you look at it from this perspective, this thing plus a 3D printer, you're probably looking at still a 1400. I wouldn't call it all our super consumer, but again, we're talking about the upper echelon of tactical. $1,400 isn't obscene.
And on the plus side, it can potentially allow you to scan things in, make modifications on existing designs.
Yeah, it's made by 3D Systems, so I was happen to be looking at it because I was out of the book discussion because they didn't let me read the book.
To be fair, Sean hasn't read the book either.
To be fair, Sean got to look at the book.
He did,
and I hang out with Josh like 3 days a week, and I haven't seen the book yet. It's cool. No, I get it.
I did
understand.
specifically say, Josh, let's go get food. By the way, bring the book so I can look at it.
Right. He was thoughtful and he brought it for you.
No. He asked me to bring it because I had no intention of letting him see it.
The Middle Eastern guy on the podcast.
If you asked to see it, you could have seen it.
Left in the sand, so to speak. It's cool. No, I understand. So
well,
back to
I thought
this.
pictures were sacrilegious to you.
They are. Pictures of Nerf blasters are absolute sacrilege. Josh, thank you for not making me break my edicts. So, anyways, this 3D Systems hand scanner, it's basically like a Kinect sensor on your hand. You move it around your object, and their software will fill in the gaps for you if there are any.
God, we live in the future.
It just brings it to where I don't know if the world's ready for it yet, but it's ready for the world. So, and it's only $400.
That's relatively cheap.
It's $1,000 cheaper than the next closest product.
I mean, if you're talking about production studio, just being able to make stuff and like people can come up with live molds or something. I don't know. It seems like a much more user friendly process.
Now, it's not wireless yet. It is wired.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I guess
that's just time.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably plug it into a tablet and make it work. But no. So I was looking at it and I'm like, because I came out a few weeks ago. No one had done a big write up. Engadget did a write up on it. And I'm thinking next year, what do I want? I usually every year I make like some kind of investment. And a couple years ago I started a game shop. I'm thinking this year I was like, what do I want to do with what do I want to make an investment in besides future little BFUs? And 3D printer has been something that's been on my brain for like the last 2 years.
It's true.
And I'd like to crowdfund it, not like online, but like amongst a group of people. Whereas if we had our Nerf group, if they wanted to all kick in for the printer, if everyone kicked in for the printer, I'd go buy the scanner situation so we could start making stuff. And I don't even think we need to make. I don't know if I want to even make blasters and stuff. I don't know if the ABS plastic holds up, but there are so many different accessories for the games.
Oh
that we could badges, just all kinds of like aesthetic things. Yeah, I think that we can make for blasters that would be really neat. Yeah, I'm looking at it more from aesthetic stuff. I know people want to make functional parts. I don't know if I have the time for that. I would love to make some aesthetic things for blasters or for clothing or whatever. Like we do the Assassin's card thing. What if we had badges that we swapped? I don't know. Something just different.
Yeah.
To make it a little more real.
It's no secret that Josh and I love props in our game.
I know.
Love it.
Yeah.
And I think being able to 3D print props, like you don't have to go out and look for something.
Make life so much easier than going around thrift stores and looking for things that are close to what we want and modifying them to get them to what we want them to do.
Right. You just look at something and say, I'd love to have a fake version of that in our Nerf game. Okay, great. Let's go find a real one. Let's scan it. And then we're going to print it and we'll paint it. I don't know. So this is something I've been thinking about investing in. That was completely off topic, though.
No, that's fine. It's relevant to game runners. I mean, if you want to start building your own parts or building your own props, that's something that's very useful.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I feel like we talked about before that Nerf is a very cheap man sport. You don't always have the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Wealthy people? It's not the right word.
Affluent? No, affluent's not right.
Affluent's close.
You can be frugal and play Nerf.
Yeah. You can be frugal and play Nerf.
That's definitely the everyman's hobby, which makes it a cool sport like basketball. Basketball and soccer are two of the world's most popular sports because they're cheap.
I have a ball. Let me throw it at something or kick it at something.
Right.
Same with Nerf. I have a blaster. Let me shoot it at someone.
Right, and you only need one.
There's less initial investment than most sports.
Yeah. But that said, being able to just make props on the fly is very appealing from a game runner perspective because you can just make whatever you need.
Yeah, and I'm like always looking for stuff like I wish this thing had a tack rail on the side. Oh, let me take apart a Raven and jack the tack rail. Well, if I could make my own tack rails, that would make my life a lot easier. So,
I mean, that could be good for companies like Orange Model Works too, where it's like, here, you can make the shells and we'll just give you internals that are standard to fit inside these blasters. So you can just buy the internals from someone else and have them be more reliable and just print whatever housing you want on the outside.
And I ain't gonna lie, I'd like to try to print the shell of a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
I would just for fun. But that was something I was looking at before we get to the next segment.
Which is
this week's Nerf Reddit rant
with B.F.U.
Hello Reddit, B.F.U. here. Now your website keeps me thoroughly entertained, and I get to read all the posts. And I expect a certain level of hatred. But you know, Reddit, I want to introduce you to some little something I call RTE. The R stands for respect. The T stands for the, and the E stands for effort. So this week's Reddit rant is about respecting the effort, or RTE. There's a post on Reddit where basically people are really mad that people are posting too many cosmetic mods on Reddit. And they're not putting them into albums. And I understand that, you don't want the whole front page of Reddit to be someone's cosmetic mods. But honestly, what's the difference between a nice mod by Johnson Arms and some dude installing his orange ModWorks Retaliator kit for the third time this week? Or how about the daily I found this at my thrift store rant? I mean, how many posts do we have about people finding stuff at thrift stores? I get it. You're cool. You found stuff at a thrift store. I am proud of you. But I don't know if I want to hear about it all the time because I can't go to that thrift store and get anything because you done jacked it. Personally, I would rather see all the wonderful paint jobs than some of the bad ones. BioShop. And, see those things and go on. And I understand that you don't want your website clogged. And, Winter Mall doesn't want to see all the cool paint jobs. And Turkamadu doesn't want to. I don't even say that dude's name right now. I apologize to him for that because he's actually a pretty cool guy. I just want to know, Reddit, why so angry? Why so hateful? And just RTE. When you're downvoting, RTE, Reddit, respect the effort. Or people will stop RTRing. They will stop respecting the Reddit. And that's this week's Reddit rant from B.F.U.
We need to get you music for that.
Yep.
In the background, just like this happy little...
I was singing smooth jazz music.
Oh, yes.
Jazz music would work.
I can hear it in the voice.
Just
like beat poetry.
It has been a slow week on Reddit, so that was a tough Reddit rant. Thank you. Shout out to Josh for pointing that out to me because I read it and I'm like, there are more posts about this than upvotes or downvotes. And by the way, that whole post got less downvotes than the Lucky Charms box. F you, Reddit. F you.
So here's the thing. I feel like we call out specific users sometimes on Reddit. I feel like there's a lot of people who just lurk the forums. And lurking is a term where basically you go to a message board regularly, daily, and you read everything and you might upvote or downvote, but you never post anything. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a lot of people who look and see what they want on Reddit and upvote and downvote based on that. So I feel like one thing that B.F.U mentioned, obviously, is thrift store finds. The reason people like posting these, and I feel like the reason why they're probably upvoted so much too, people like congratulating other people and feeling like they get pats on the back. So what this means is when you get a deal, and I understand this too, when I go shopping somewhere and I find a deal on something, I feel awesome about it. I feel like I got a great price. Like the other day, I was at a Goodwill, found a stripe for $5. Like, it was in the box. I just didn't have the mag with it, which is fine because I'm just going to swap it with an 18-round mag anyway. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is awesome. I feel good about it. You want to show off your accomplishment. You want to say, look at how good I was as a bargain hunter finding this item, especially in Goodwill because it's not a reliable source. I mean, you can go to a store when there's a sale and be like, look, I got this Rapid Strike for $26. You don't really see those types of posts on Reddit. You see people treasure hunting in thrift stores and finding good stuff, and they're happy about that. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the reason those gets upvoted is when someone else goes and does the same thing, they feel encouraged that now I can post it on there and everyone can upvote my awesome
That
time.
would be cool if a lot of the good mods didn't get downvoted. So let me get this straight. In the Reddit world, working hard on something with paint skills and possibly some mechanical aptitude is worse than walking into a Goodwill and coming up because someone donated their kid's blaster. That's more of a skill.
Right.
So that's what Reddit's measuring. It's like I know what it is. Anybody could walk into a Goodwill and trip and fall on a blaster. Mm-hmm. So we want to congratulate people that can do anything.
Here
Trophy generation.
And this is the way. And there's a post on there. Is it Landgraves or it might even be Tormakdu that says
it's Landgraves. I know what I'm about to say.
That's basically said like you shouldn't be downvoting anything,
Landgraves.
unless it doesn't contribute to it at all. Oh. What it should happen, right? Somebody puts up thrift store stuff, you don't think that that's upvote worthy because they didn't do anything. Cool. You don't upvote it, but you don't downvote it because you're like, well, they didn't take away anything. So theoretically, the way Reddit should work is all the people who do work, if you really like it, you upvote it. And then if you really don't like it, you don't do anything. You only downvote it when it's not supposed to be there. And it's like, this doesn't add anything, or this is a duplicate, it's not contributing, because the mods get alerted of that, like downvotes and things, and be like, oh, okay, this,
The other problem is apparently people were reporting because people were posting it incorrectly. They weren't doing albums. They were getting reported as they were getting reported as spammers.
Yes.
So basically, the people were like, "Hey, we want just link us to your album." Here's the thing I find though: if you don't link it to a quick picture on Imager,
people just look over it.
Right. So we link our Nerf War albums a lot. Nobody looks.
But one of the pictures from those albums get posted up. Suddenly it gets 100 up.
Right. So the Lucky Charms box was up a couple days before somebody put it up as its own picture.
Right.
And because he got the picture from our Nerf album that nobody looked at. And you could tell by the amount of up or down votes.
Right.
But when the
it was
picture
a player
itself
from our game, so let's clarify that part right now. It wasn't just a random dude trying to
It was a random dude.
It was one of our players.
No, one of our players posted a direct picture, and then everybody looked at it. So you can't be mad at the interwebs for not putting up albums when no one's going to look at their stuff, which is what they're looking for. Sean's right. They're looking for admiration.
Right.
They're looking for, people to say good things about it. I still don't see how tripping on something in a thrift store. And I know Josh is a serious bargain hunter. This dude is like the Bilbo Baggins of bargain hunting. Dude be out with his little Hobbit car, and he's just always sending me photographs. Hey, you want one of these? They got some Mavericks. And I'm always like, no.
I got him a Hailfire for $5.
Hailfire for
magazines.
Hailfire for $5 with mags
and batteries.
I mean, Josh is out working hard, but it's not the same kind of respect I have for him, the fact that he can make his own leather holsters for hammer shots. It's like a whole different set of respect, and it's a different set of skill set. One skill set is having time and wanting to, and not being cool, wasting gas. The other skill set is actually a craft. So again, Reddit, if you just follow RTE, we will be cool.
The other thing, and I'm not justifying it, I'm just explaining how the community works. The rest of Reddit only uses Imager.
No, they don't. That's not true.
What subreddits are you going to?
Other ones, but here's the thing: it is not Reddit to specifically use Imager. Imager works really good with Reddit, but it is not a requirement.
I think Imager got popular. It's the only way you post from your Android phone is Imager.
No. You can do it otherwise, I'm pretty sure.
Well, plus Imager was designed by a Redditor.
No, I agree. I'm not saying you shouldn't use...
Yeah.
I'm not saying you shouldn't use Imager. When people are like, you didn't use Imager, that is sin.
I don't think it's a sin. I'm just saying that's how the community is. Basically, they feel like there's some sort of pain associated with having to... Because I've gone online on my phone and checked out our albums. You're able to do it. It's just initially, it's kind of like... I feel like it's such an accepted thing already to use Imager. That's why people are like, come on, everyone's using Imager. Why can't
Which
you
is
hop on the
fine,
bus?
but don't hate on people for making different posts for different blasters then.
So the thing with which I wanted to touch on was, I don't hate on people making posts for different blasters. If I did 3 different cosmetic mods and I wanted to show them all off, here's what I would do, personally, for multiple reasons. One, I would put them up on different days. Because I wouldn't want to spread the entire front page with just my stuff.
Yep.
And that's just kind of being respectful. If I had 3 mods and I wanted to show them all off, like, again, people complain about not being albums, but then they won't see all of my mods, right? And I want them to see all my mods, so I would put them up individually. Here's what you do. Put them up at different days. One, not only so that people don't get mad at you and won't be like, rah, 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 why'd you put them all up at once? It's taking up half of the front page. 2, because if you make a lot of posts, Reddit will shadow ban you. They will say, you've made a lot of posts, you haven't made a lot of comments, they were all links to something, like, get out. We've had that happen with posts to Bay Area Nerf and other things. And
a couple of we talk to other bloggers, too, that do Nerf stuff.
Right.
They've run into the same problems where they end up shadow banned, and they're like, how did this happen?
And that's 1 or 2, we've done 1 or 2 posts a week, and they're like, well, you've only posted links to things. So, post something, let people respond, comment, whatever. When you comment back, there's got to be a amount of you contributing to the community by commenting on other posts or your posts and just talking with people, as there is you just submitting content. Even if it's cool and new content or breaking news, we've done that before. Like, here's breaking news to this, here's breaking news to that. And then I've seen people like, yeah, I got banned, or I got shadow banned, and they just hadn't responded enough and posted enough actual comments. So it just happens. It's not that people are even necessarily reporting these things. So if you spread out your posts, people aren't going to get annoyed with you because it's not all at once, and you have a less likelihood of getting shadow banned or perma-banned or, just kicked off Reddit in general.
I'm actually reading through the thread right now that talks about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just to clarify some things. So Torque Mokto is actually saying everyone downvotes everything and it sucks. I mean, he
right.
Yeah, and that dude, and I know we bring up certain Redditors often. Those are just, him and a couple other ones just post a lot.
Right. Yeah.
And
if we talk about you, it's because you're relevant in the Nerf community.
Yeah, if we talk on you, whether it's positive or negative, it's because you do a lot of stuff. So ultimately, it's positive.
Right.
Ultimately, you're contributing in some way. Even if you're contributing negatively by being upset about everything, you at least give us A, something to talk about, and B, you stoke the creativity of, how can we rebut that?
Right.
But, yeah, sorry, Sean, I cut you off.
No, that was basically it. I mean, I just feel like there's a lot of users on Reddit that, like I said earlier, there's probably people who just sit in the background, don't really comment much, and just will upvote and downvote things.
I think there's even people on Reddit that don't necessarily haven't even read all of the Reddit rules, and they may or may not actually abide by them. I think that what has become is more of a popularity contest. You know what I mean? It's just, well, I went to Reddit, I saw some stuff on Reddit, I don't like that thing, I don't want to see it, downvote. Oh, I like that, upvote. Downvote, and it's become a popularity contest when in reality, like Landgraves was saying, that's not what how it's supposed to work, but it's what people do.
Yeah, it's about sharing content.
Correct. And that's just, you know what I mean? There's a huge array of people who use Reddit. There's not like you have to be a certain age, you can upvote, downvote to your heart's content.
Yeah.
Nerf community, I'm begging you, please, let's get together with a centralized website of our own. Every other hobby I have has a normal website. They do not use a generic website like Reddit. Nothing against Reddit, but you got to legitimize your hobby a little bit and have a spot to go to. Like even HeroClix has a spot, and I can't imagine HeroClix being that much more popular than Nerf. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Let's,
and not to use a pun, but the Nerf community online is a little cliquey. I swear I was going to say that before you mentioned HeroClix, but there are other communities out there that have been around for a long time. The problem is just, I feel like there have been different waves of Nerfers. Like, I feel like I'm a part of a new age of Nerfers that came out towards the end of the N-Strike line and towards the beginning of the Elite line. That got into it when HVZ started getting a little bit bigger, and it's grown into kind of more of a regular, I'm not going to say sport, but kind of like a more regular thing, more accepted. You hear about college campuses all the time playing HVZ and dealing with problems with it because of the nature of the sport. But back in the day, if you go back probably 5-10 years ago, Josh is a hipster for Nerf, so he knows this, how the community was. It was a smaller community. It was very much homemade based, where people designed their own blasters out of PVC pipe.
I have learned so much about homemade blasters in the last 2 weeks. I know what snap bows are and rainbow triggers. And
those all sprung from necessity. I mean, Nerf
Clothespins.
blasters weren't shooting 60, 75 feet
Back when I was young,
straight out of the box.
oh, a Maverick would go 10 feet if you dart pushed it.
Speaking of homemades,
Yep.
can't leave that out without giving a shout out to one of our local players, Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
Sent us some sick dart testing data because he was listening to the podcast, and I was off on a rant because obviously everybody knows I know half of a third of what I'm talking about. I understand how ill-informed I am.
That is 1/6 if you're doing the math at home.
Thank you, Captain Arithmetic. So Mitchell, I was saying that, I think Steffens work better because they're missing the hole. And you're pushing air on a flat surface, so you're getting more consistency out of it. Not knowing my rear from a hole in the ground or physics. Mitchell went buck wild and was like, I got some data for you, Holmes.
Yeah, he just sent me, I think over this weekend, his final copy of all that. He sent me like 3 or 4, it's 3 different versions of that. That's going to be going up on the blog soon. I just want to get it formatted, and was just checking with him to, Should I credit your Reddit account? Should I credit? He was like, yeah, just, do your thing, throw it up there. So that'll be up there, and I'm sure it'll be very much debated by people, especially in the Reddit community. Some of his findings and, maybe how the tests were done. I don't even know. I've read through it, and I'm like, okay, I understand half this. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he's
it's a dart.
Engineering major, right? Physics major? He's engineering.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a dart.
Math.
And there's colors going around the dart that represents something.
Well, Sean, since you were able to do my math problem, maybe you'll be able to decipher it for us.
Yeah, it was.
Math.
It's awesome. It's
It
really in
shoots
depth.
Distance.
He even threw in pictures of like his handwritten notes, and I was just like, oh, this is like going through Einstein's like.
He is like,
Like
he's like a Nerf Einstein.
I was like, this is so amazing.
Love the fact that we have that. We have like engineers in our group. That's such a diverse.
It's cool because you hear people when they're doing debates about things and distance and like, well, you're not measuring this. Well, the muzzle velocity is actually measured by this. Well, you're not taking into account the air pressure. I'm like, what? I don't even know, huh?
I have an Alpha Trooper.
I'm like,
Right.
my shoot dart far.
It's like my rating
Like
days in
Bizarro.
WoW when like people don't know their coefficients and hit rating, and I'm like, "What are you doing, you noob? Go away!"
Yes.
Well, I never say that. I'm just like, "You can't play with me, though."
No.
Yeah, I'm not good at any of that. I don't even think I bring value to the Nerf.
Hey,
community.
hey!
Oh.
You made the bio shot. Ouch! You did. You're doing things,
I want to
buddy.
flip the table so bad right now and just ruin
This
all
isn't
your
the hammer
audio.
shot video.
But it's the same table.
It is the
It's
same
the
table.
same table.
It's the exact table. It's not even a replica table. It is the table that we did that video
Yeah,
on.
I think I've still
Yeah, I wish
find...
we had Oreos on it though.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I did make the bio shot. I contributed in my own way. I spawn hate.
You did it, buddy.
As long as you get people talking. Oh.
But
yeah, that'll be going up on the blog soon. Oh, that's what I was getting to. That'll be up there. We cannot, between the three of us, we have no hope of trying to explain this over
Nope.
the airwaves.
You know what I think?
What is in this document?
You know what would be
Math.
awesome? If we could get him on as a guest.
Yeah, that would be really
That's
cool.
true. I mean, it's a little bit of a drive for him, but it would be awesome to get him on one of these days just to talk Nerf with us.
Yeah.
Or I could try and figure out what's wrong with Skype calls and our
Where does
new
he live?
setup. Josh, where does he live?
What the whoa?
Where's Mitchell live?
I don't know his address.
Is it Central? No, is it Central California, SoCal? Central, right?
I think it's
San
Central.
Luis Obispo?
Yeah,
Down that way?
There, sure.
Maybe we go to him. Maybe we take a day trip.
Could do a day trip.
I thought he was weird out.
Nerfcast on location.
Yes.
Yeah! Coming soon
Nice
to
to
a
be
war
there,
near you.
Nerfcast.
There's a little bit of crushed dreams in there somewhere, Sean. There was a convention that we were going to go to and do Nerfcast live, and that fell through. Well, going to the convention didn't fall through, but
Oh, that must have
I
been.
thought you were talking about the time I got invited to E3 to do Nerf stuff.
that is also a thing.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
I'm sure I'll hear the story after the podcast, but
But yeah,
I'm going to say that's all pre-FU.
yeah.
That is
Now that
pre-FU.
we're in the aftermath,
Yep.
it keeps it. That's what I bring. I bring organization.
That was when my last start was still here.
yeah.
I miss that guy.
No,
I miss him
mean,
too.
When we were going
I
to
used to
do
talk to him
the other
daily.
convention thing, that was all
Yeah,
you
that
and
was
me.
Yeah.
And then the conventions just aren't very well
It's okay.
organized.
I'll use phrasing differently in the application next time. I was trying to be honest and saying like, look, we're going to show people how to run Nerf wars and do HVZ stuff.
What does it have
and
to do with anything?
next time I'm going to say we're going to teach people how to cosplay with Nerf guns.
Yay!
Woo!
And then show them the Centurion.
I'm
And they'll be like, oh, that's
Here you
all
go.
right,
This is all you need.
Yep.
Everyone who wants to sit down and do the whole sniper speech or whatever.
Oh, yes.
I mean, yeah, we
This is
got
my gun. This
I think
is
he'd
my
be cool
life.
to have on.
No,
For-
I agree.
to
There's a
go
lot
over
of people we've wanted to have on. We do need to figure out how to get, calls back on here. We used to be able to do some Skype stuff. We got some new equipment. Last time we recorded with Boba Lolo, it all went downhill. And
It
since
all got
then, we've
messed
been
up,
like,
and I'm afraid again because when we tested the audio beforehand, everything worked perfectly fine.
Right.
Then afterwards, when we recorded like over an hour's worth of content, just like, oh, this is all unusable.
that's what it sounded like.
Oh,
In case you were wondering. Yeah, it was rough.
is that how Bobo rolls normally?
Uh,
Love that guy.
He has so much energy.
yeah, the Nerf Viking.
The other thing, I've been asking for a minute is, would be nice to have some people just ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a couple. I feel like we say this at the end of every podcast.
We
We get
do-
emailed one question every 3 months.
Yeah, we say that. To be fair, we say that, but I know there's enough listeners out there to ask us, some pointed questions we could answer, and then we could do like a question and answer segment on every podcast. That would be
That would
pretty
be really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if there's questions in the I think people just know.
Maybe people don't ask.
We just answer all the questions before they ask them.
Yep.
Maybe that's it.
We're too good.
Actually, speaking of people and questions, I want to give a quick shout out to blastersmiths.co.uk. Because last time we said it'd be really cool if Nerf made tactical gear that was colored, that was all brightly colored. And I still think it would be cool if they had a bunch of different colors instead of their one thing that they're doing. But Blastersmiths does actually put out stuff in different colors. I had no idea. I've been to their website here and there. All of the default pictures are in, when you just look at the product, it's black, but then underneath it actually says choose a color, and they had a huge variety of colors that I had no idea they even had, so they left a comment on the blog, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So shout out to you guys for bringing that to our attention, because we had no idea, and it looks really awesome. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Oh no! I gotta go. No, I gotta go to this Blastersmith site.
So now he was on his tablet. Like, now I'm like, hold on, I want to see.
A second, I need to see
how this works.
This Blastersmith thing. Oh, they have a hammer shot. They have a hammer shot holster.
Josh also has a hammer shot holster.
I know Josh does.
Mine's are expensive.
Yeah.
I use a lot of leather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hold on. Oh my god.
Guys, should we do this after the podcast?
No. All right, everybody right now that bought a hammer shot because I told you to go buy one, go to Blastersmith and pick up the hammer shot holster. That is freaking cool.
They have it right hand and left hand, right? I think.
Yes.
Yep.
It's cloth and you can pick colors. Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to check this out too, because I do have a couple hammer shots and Sweet Revenges at home that would love some better holsters.
Can I get Blastersmith? Can I get a bulk discount? Because I got 7 hammer shots that I need to holster up. And yes, I want a different holster for every single one of them.
It's going to be like Derringer Millie, but with hammer shots.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just like one of my Japanese animes.
But yeah, I mean, the prices are really reasonable. Big props to them for bringing more accessories to the Nerf community. We'll probably have one podcast at some point in time where we just run down everybody that's doing stuff at once.
You know, it's kind of a trip, actually. Sorry to circle back on this. Perpetual Play is coming out with so much stuff.
Correct.
Like, I thought we were just going to end up with, like, oh, here's the pack that holds magazines. And like, oh, you got a sleeve too? Okay, that's probably their 2 items. No, they keep coming out with stuff.
They do.
Like, every 2 or 3 weeks, like, hey, we figured out a new thing we can do with cloth, guys. They have, like, a loot crate now.
They do.
That, like, I just looked at the picture. I haven't seen it in person yet. It's like, oh, it looks like it holds, like, 5 or 6 blasters in it. And I'm like, I don't even need this, but I might just buy it.
Yeah,
just because I appreciate the concept. Because obviously we have giant Tupperware we can buy for cheap. Or storage containers. Yeah. But I'm like, oh, but this has Nerf on it.
Hey.
That's all I need.
So, branding's a thing.
Once again, good on them for continuously trying out new things and taking risks, because this can't cost them too much money to sew and put together.
Right.
So I appreciate the idea that they're going out there and saying, hey, let's just keep trying stuff and seeing what sticks. Yeah. It is the best kind of product testing because we get to have what we want.
And huge shout out to all of those little companies, like B.F.U said. We'll probably have more and feature more of them on the podcast. Have maybe a whole episode where we run through a bunch of them. But man, it's so great seeing all these people out there. Whether you're 3D printing or you're sewing things, even if you just got small Etsy accounts, because you're helping out the community. All of the 18 and older, college kids that are doing that stuff.
All the less skilled people like me who don't know what they're doing but want cool things.
Right, because Perpetual Play is doing great, but they don't have that level of stuff, and you guys are putting it out there, making things for the community. I know Perpetual Play has to think with the children in mind, the same as the Nerf's target audience is pretty much their target audience. You guys are just, busting it out the park. So, big thank you to all you out there. And if we haven't mentioned you, and we don't know about you, shoot us the thing. Yeah, NH1, we're going to get back to you. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. I was supposed to email you.
Can you say their name a little bit more clearly this time?
NH1. We'll go into it on another podcast. People are going to be all confused and whatnot, but that's just if they're listening. Shout out to you guys as well, because we've already talked about a bunch of others. But yeah, send us your stuff. Shoot us a link to your stuff so we can mention you on the podcast if we don't know about you and you're doing stuff. Mm-hmm. Even if you an Etsy shop, one-man show is cool.
Yeah, if you have any content you just want us to showcase, we're fine with doing that.
Yeah, we will gladly be free advertising for you to help grow the community.
And we promise we'll try and make it positive.
Yes.
Cheer.
If you send us your product, then we promise to definitely say something good about it. We do not promise that we aren't going to say bad things as well, but we will definitely at least say a good thing because you gave it to us.
You will be happy about things.
Cheer.
Josh will be negative about things, and I will just have mindless optimism for whatever.
There we go.
Cheetah.
Cheetah.
Uh,
Cheetor.
Anyway, I think we've taken up enough of our listeners' time today.
Yep.
I agree. But B.F.U is like reverted back to one-word responses. Yes.
You can't see the smile on his face.
See, fly.
Once we start recording these, people will watch on YouTube a lot more instead of listening in the car just so they can see our stupid faces when we're saying stuff.
I do want to say, too, I am looking around this Black Friday for good deals on cameras to start recording as well. We have a couple cameras in-house, but I'm looking for like even better quality. Because I have all this audio equipment I want to hook up to the camera, too, and make it all good. I want to make it pretty.
I'm looking for a razor for Sean's beard. I really am.
Oh, that's the thing, too, because people have seen pictures with me without the beard. I got a beard now, and it is majestic.
It's an eared. It's that the B part's missing. It's funny.
It is majestic and beautiful. I'm beautiful.
Yeah, Josh not participating in Movember, by the way. What's up with that?
No matter what they say.
It's Movember.
Okay.
Josh checks his prostate enough already.
Yeah. All right. I actually donated money, so that's the bird to your beards. But I didn't have to raise awareness. I contributed.
Contributing to prostate cancer never sounds like a right term. Whenever someone says, I donated to breast cancer or something like that, I'm like, you need to clarify if it's for or against.
I don't know a whole lot of campaigns against.
Yeah, we're cool.
Actually,
there's a lot of campaigns against breast cancer.
But if we wrap it up now
against,
before we offend anybody, that would be awesome.
Aren't those the same thing? Because if you go for, then you are for curing, and if you are against breast cancer, then you're still for a cure.
If we just wrap it before we offend anybody, that would be awesome.
Says the guy who earlier was like, he's brown.
Arjang is brown.
No.
And French.
No, he's like a coffee with like one dip of cream.
He's a mocha latte.
Yeah, Arjang is brown. Just the way I'm swarthy olive.
I'm not
brown
saying he's not.
Versus the Board of Education.
I'm just
What? No. What?
Yes.
No. No, that's not even relevant.
Okay, on that note, let's go ahead and wrap it up, guys. So, B.F.U, any final thoughts for the week?
Oh, man. If you see any good deals out there, let us know. Josh will be out looking for deals.
Send them to the blog.
Yeah, send them to the blog. Read the blog. We promise, swear to God, on our grandmama's lives, graves, whatever, that we will have some fat content coming out in the next 3 months. Mind-blowing, earth-shattering, change the world type of content. It's going to happen.
Sure.
Flashpoint content.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's twice. I'm impressed. But that's all I got. We got some good stuff coming, y'all.
Yeah.
You're just happy when I know about DC things. I know
not really.
about Marvel things.
Yeah, I don't. And send us questions. I'd like to answer some questions. Nothing too personal for me to answer either. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty much open game.
He is. He will tell you anything.
I mean, if he wants to go even more detail about how we won wars, I mean, there's common topics we get a lot. We don't mind going more in detail about anything.
It's true. You can think of stuff we didn't cover in one of our more topical episodes. Ask it.
Or you could be like, hey, Sean, you said you were going to show a picture of the bag of sorting. Whatever happened to that? To which I respond, I don't want to go in my garage to look for stuff. Oh, but I will try one of these days.
We actually did get a question from somebody, but it'll take us a minute to answer, and it'll actually be better if we do it after the next podcast because it'll be
relevant?
More relevant, and we'll be able to give details about things a little bit more. But it was from Jason, and I'll go out with you guys afterwards.
Oh, right, yeah, I remember the question.
And that they know what I'm talking about. All the listeners don't, except for Jason. Mm-hmm. But we'll touch on it a little bit. I don't know how much we can say even then, but
yeah, but we'll go into detail about it.
Yeah.
Josh, final thoughts?
Looking forward to hopefully maybe finding a Magnus so I can get my hands on one and test it out, and then be justified in saying that I wouldn't run it. But that's about it. Black Friday deals, I haven't seen much, but hopefully there's some stuff out there. I already own everything pretty much I need, so meh. Meh.
And I'll go ahead and say it. I'm excited for the orange strife still. No matter what other people say, I'm down to have different colors of things no matter what. That's why I own like 50 different Zing bows. Also, I got a great deal, but I had like 5 different color Zing bows before I got that really good deal.
Oh yeah, I need to pick up the rest of the. They previewed like 3 or 4 new color
Yeah, they have
stripes
more
or
colors.
jolts that I want.
You get the jolts, I'll
Yep.
get the Zing bows and have more arrows and more different colors.
Be rocking it.
I love it. I really need to sit down one day and just come out. This is another reason I want a better camera. I want to come out with a video for Zing bows. One was actually sent to me from Zing Toys. Very excited about it, and I just need to take the time to make a video for it.
Yes, you do.
I feel like enough reviews have been done at this point that I want to do something kind of clever and creative with it, and I'm not clever or creative, so it's going to be a hard process. But yep, on that note, thank you everyone for listening today.
Yeah, those of you in the States, enjoy a happy Thanksgiving, because I know that's coming in between this podcast and the next one.
And for our Jewish listeners, happy Hanukkah as well, because Hanukkah will happen before the next podcast episode.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I realized I was nodding my head, but nobody can hear that. I'm like, yeah, go, Sean.
Yes.
Oh, I just sound mad racist.
And for everybody in the hood, get them deals, baby.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say for everyone in the hood, happy Kwanzaa.
No, not everybody in the hood celebrates. Is Kwanzaa even a real thing anymore?
It was on the Proud Family a couple years ago.
No. We're cool.
Wow.
We're cool.
Thank you, Disney, for teaching me about African American culture.
Oh, boy.
Like that one movie about the... we're going to stop right now.
So,
On
for
that note-
Nerfcast, this is B.F.U.
This is Josh.
And this is Sean.
Happy
Happy tagging.
tagging!